Because my cat belongs to me. You can't define this love. Cause I got more plans than the people see. Mirror, mirror, tell me true. When will the oppressed have their due? When will the oppressed have their due? When will the oppressed have their due? Mirror, mirror, tell me true. When will the oppressed have their due? When will the oppressed have their due? When will the oppressed have their due? People wanna know why I do what I do. People wanna know why I screw who I screw. But it's my right, I can choose who I choose. Keep the focus on you and you won't be so confused. Trying to figure out the mean, it's gonna keep you feeling blue. 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 You can't define honesty. Because my cat belongs to me. You can't define this love. Cause I got more friends than the people see. Mirror, mirror, tell me true. When will the oppressed have their due? When will the oppressed have their due? When will the oppressed have their due? Mirror, mirror, tell me true. When will the oppressed have their due? When will the oppressed have...
Okay, so let's get right into this topic. So this video is not really, so on YouTube I titled it The Fakeness of Ballroom Culture simply because, shout out to Natasha Tori, I know y'all heard her voice in here, but simply because a lot of people have been coming for me off of that post, okay? So a lot of people have felt the need to come for me. And so this is what this video is about. This video is basically to teach you how, if you're going to come for me, if you're going to read me, let me fix this. Let me adjust my camera over here on YouTube. If you're going to come for me, here is how to come for me and make it count and make it matter. Before I get into what I really want to talk about, I just want to say that we all come from different tribes. And I realize that Ballroom is a tribe. So, you know, some people in the tribe is coming for me. Some people in Ballroom are actually mature enough to know that a lot of things that I said in that video were actually the truth. How can you get mad at someone for telling something that you yourself have recognized to be the truth? Like, I didn't tear Niambi down. I didn't drag Niambi. I just simply told how I see things and I gave a perspective. I didn't say one harmful or hateful word to Niambi's personhood. Nothing to tear her down. I just said that she triggers me. And then I started talking about ballroom culture. But never once did I directly attack that girl's character. So anyway, this is why we will never be able to come together as a people. I don't want to say never because I don't want to push hope out the window. But this is why it's going to be so challenging for melanated people to come together, because there's so many, we're so different. You know, Black people are different. We talk about how different transness is, but Blackness is so different. You know, I don't know if y'all have been on Netflix and watching all of these different new movies that they coming out that are featuring like African people, and like in African culture, you see that Black people oppress Black people. I lived in Africa for 9 months last year. I saw firsthand Black people oppress Black people, and it's worse. It's worse. They're meaner to each other. Like, we think white people are mean. We think Caucasian people wear us out over here. Like, baby, Africans wear each other out. And it's not all the Africans, though, because the poor ones, typically how they try to make y'all think that poor people be just ripping each other head off and poor people be beefing with each other. No, it's the Black people who want to have what the wealthy Black people have. It's the Africans who want more. It's the Africans who trying to get up in that top percent that's trying to be the cream of the crop, honey. They'll wear you out for their job. They'll wear you out for a pay advance, for a little bit more coins on their check, honey. They will wear you out. When the pandemic first started over there, nobody, like, I didn't see nobody get sick. I ain't experienced that, but they treated us just like we was over here in America. We had to be locked down. We couldn't go nowhere. It was horrible. And if you talked about COVID too loud and you was disagreeing with it, or you had something negative to say, baby, the police would get you together. They would take you to jail. They would beat you. And I never had it happen to me because there was always somebody to tap me on my shoulder and be like, don't do that. So I never was a girl that got mauled, but I heard the horror stories and I saw it happening while I was there. It was people that looked just like me oppressing each other. And that's the type of culture that's happening over here. So, you know, Black people trying to ascend to power and trying to become powerful, but baby, an oppressor is still an oppressor no matter what the complexion. Like it ain't like you being my skin complexion don't make you any less an oppressor. So anyway, but back to the point. So and just to piggyback on that again, like we always black this, buy black, buy black, buy black. Some Black people have a spirit on them that they just feel like they're better than. Like when I was in Africa, it was certain African people that looked down their nose at me. You know, it was Black people it was Africans who were sweet to me and loving to me. And most of the time it was the ones that had less than me. Like we get into that stereotype of the poor ones are the ones that will hurt you, and the poor ones are the ones that will rob you and mistreat you. But most times the Africans who had less than me, those were the ones who were the nicest to me. Those were the ones who treated me like a queen and made and really, really showed me love. It was the ones that had more than me that were like looking down their nose at me. Very much that culture. So don't be fooled. Up is down and down is up. I keep telling y'all. A lot of times it's the poor people who will have more compassion and more empathy and more love for you than the ones who have all the money. The ones who have all the money will look at you like you scum or like you dookie on the bottom of their shoe. So don't think that just because somebody has money and education, all of a sudden they know how to be kind. They know how to be empathetic. They know how to be giving. Money does not buy a heart. Money does not buy a soul. Money does not, like you can have all the money in the world and you can be an ugly person. You can be a monster. Like we think money solves problems, but a lot of times money creates problems. So when I was in Africa, I was treated better by the people who were struggling and by the people who had nothing. Do you hear me? Nothing. So anyway, I just want to say this to you. Hey, sister. Hey, money. I just want to say this to you. People who are trying, if you're trying to read me, if you're trying to come for me, if you're trying to wear me out, understand this. This is how your reads are going to stick. This is how your reads are going to matter to me. If you're not invested in me, if you have not sown time in me, if the first time you come on my live or the first time you come in my comment section, you're coming to say something negative, you've never sown a positive word into me, you've never given me affirmation, you've never affirmed me in any way, and the first time you open your mouth to speak, it's to cut me down. Girl, your words hold no water with me because I know who you are. You showed yourself. Your strategy was off, girl. First time you showed your face, you were trying to come for me. Another thing, coming for my aesthetics, reading me about the physical, girl, I've been on this journey for 30 plus years, girl. You can't tell me nothing I done heard. I know my voice is deep. I know sometimes I could give masculine tease. I know my teeth is crooked. I know every read that you could probably come up with, I done already heard it, girl. So, girl, think of something new. But if you want to read me and you want it to stick, you need to be a girl who's invested in me. A girl who has given me a coin, a girl who has bought one of my paintings, a girl who has sown love and thoughtful words into me and kindness into me. Because guess what? Then when you read me, I'm going to say, oh, damn, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I'm off. Because I can take criticism. I can, if it's a girl who loves me and a girl who's invested time, a girl who has been thoughtful, a girl who has sown into me in some way, shape, form, or fashion, be it be her gifts, be it be her time, be it be her resources, then girl, I can hear you. I can hear what you're saying. But girl, if you've never sown anything into me, girl, if I can't look at my Cash App and scroll down my Cash App and never see your name in my Cash App, girl, if you've never bought a painting for me, girl, if you've never given me life, girl, if you've never came out to one of my poetry speakings, you never sown into one of my gatherings, girl, you've never supported me in anything that I've ever done, girl, you can say whatever you want to say out of your mouth, girl, but it has no validity because you don't know me. You don't know me, sis. You don't know me. So, girl, coming for me makes you look stupid. It makes you look stupid, sis. This is the thing that the community needs to learn about reading, in the culture of reading. See, when I read, I don't read on aesthetics because I'm beyond that. I'm above that. Like they say, it's above me now. When I read you, I go for your soul. I'm stripping you of all that, honey. All that you show to the world, the illusion that you give into the world, Miss Thing, I'm going to pierce you like an arrow from Cupid, Miss Thing. I'm going for your soul, Miss Thing, because I don't read you unless I've studied you. I'm going to study you before I read you. I don't just run in. In the Bible, it says fools rush in where angels dare to tread. It also says a fool's wrath is known at once. So, Miss Thing, when I read you, girl, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to observe you for a long period of time. I'm going to say, and I'm going to sow into you. I'm going to give to you. I'm going to invest in you. Because, baby, when I get ready to give that read, I want to have some skin in the game. But I'm not going to come for a girl. I'm going to sow into you in some way. Like for example, everybody, you don't know the people whose Cash Apps that I didn't hit up. Just like people hit my Cash App up. I sow into people. Now, true, I don't always have financial resources, but I sow, I give. And if I can't sow into you financially, I will share it so that someone else can sow into you. But baby, I love my community. I try to support my community. I try to be there for my community. But if I smell bullshit, unlike the rest of the girls, I'm not going to sit back and be quiet. I'm not going to sit back and pretend like I didn't clock what you was giving, girl. I'm not. I just can't do that. They just mad that you beautiful, thick, and chocolate goddess. Girl, let me tell you something. So somebody on, they was mad. They said, oh, you got Niambi on your mind. That's why you talking about Niambi. First of all, I've never been ashamed to admit when I'm pressed. I will never be ashamed to admit when a girl got me pressed. See, that's the rest of you girls. You don't want to admit a girl got you pressed. You don't want to admit a girl got you bothered, that a girl that got up under your skin, girl. You deal with that, girl. You go to your therapist and talk about that, girl, and pretend like you don't have no problems, girl. Yes, ma'am, I was pressed. Yes, ma'am. Niambi had me pressed. Cardi B said, press, 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 press. I was pressed. I was pressed. And that's why I went in. I'm not ashamed to admit when I'm pressed. Yeah, when a girl got me pressed, but let me tell you something. You can't get me pressed that easy. Niambi had been triggering me for months. She was one of the reasons why I shut my Facebook page down, because I wanted to say something the last time. It was triggering me the last time. First of all, and I heard, what's her name? The girl who's in Atlanta. I can't think of this girl name right now. What's the name of this girl? Felicity Norwood. Girl, Felicity Norwood was on Diamond Collier's. Felicity Norwood was on one of Diamond Collier's videos. And Felicity Norwood said she talked so much about trans murder and she talked so much about trans women dying, it was starting to invade her psyche. And so she was thinking about it all the time. And that's what I find to be an issue for me and Niambi. She's always trans murder, trans murder, trans murder. I hate when I see girls always trans murder, trans murder, trans murder, trans murder. Let's use simple mathematics. The trans community has grown by leaps and bounds in the past 10 years. So if the community is growing, common sense should tell you that the number of deaths are going to increase. Black people been dying in droves for decades, for centuries in this nation. If the community is growing, then the number of deaths are going to grow. And the sad part about it is we have all of these people sitting in their ivory towers that are promoting this propaganda, and they're not being touched. They're not being touched. Meanwhile, these girls out here on the streets who trying to navigate, they're vulnerable, and they around here toting a flag for transness. And let me tell you something, that's sad. That's why I say, yeah, I will go and speak at a march. I will go and speak at a rally because I still connect with transness. But when I'm maneuvering in society, I don't be around here trans this and trans that. That's the colonizer word. White people gave us that word. That word was created by a white cross-dresser, a white transvestite, a wealthy, affluent white transvestite. So yeah, I'll use the word because that's the word that massa know us by. I say it all the time. That's my slave name. Just like black people got black, women got women, men got men. All of these are constructs that were given to us by the oppressor so that they could identify us and put us in our appropriate box and we could get the crumbs that fall off the table that we need. Okay, so was the trans flag, right? That's because trans women keep dying. It's a hard life. Now, what makes it hard is that we're trying to fit into this small ass box that they'd have made for us. See, trans people were supposed to be the revolution. We were supposed to topple this patriarch. We were supposed to topple this system. We were supposed to bring this girl down. But the oppressor saw what was coming and said, oh, wait a minute, hold up. Let us get in front of this because these trans people is coming. We're not going to be able to stop them. They coming. So we got to set a room at the table for them. We got to get some overseers. We got to go in their community and find their gatekeepers and get their gatekeepers top dollar to keep them in control, just like they did in the black community. They found black people that we trusted, black people that we look up to, and they gave them a whole lot of money and said, hey, get your people together. Check your people. Check your people. Because I don't know about you. I love Laverne Cox. I don't hate her. I ain't got nothing against her. She don't represent me, though. I love Angelica Ross. She don't represent me, though. All of those girls that was doing polls, I love them. I watched all 3 seasons of the show. Didn't go straight to it because I was triggered when it first came out, and I saw all of them in that. I saw all of them tap dancing on that original photo. Now one of them have no straight hair. But as the season went on, you started to see the curly hair and you started to see the little Afrocentric, some remnants of Afrocentricness or indigenous, aboriginous. You started to see some remnants of that as the seasons went on. But they don't reflect me. I don't get into what mainstream is saying. Like Jada Pinkett, when she first started the Red Table Talk, I was like, oh yes, this is gonna be hot. This is gonna be for black people. Child, that's for rich black people. It should be called Rich People Talk. It should be called Rich Table Talk, not Red Table Talk, Rich Table Talk. Y'all ain't speaking to me. Y'all ain't talking about my problems. Y'all talking about wealthy people problems. And so in order for us to be heard in mainstream, we have to aspire to be one of the 1%. Hence, we have to aspire to become a part of the problem. Because hoarding resources is the number 1 problem in this nation. Let me say that again for the people in the back row. Hoarding resources is the number 1 problem in this nation. How you doing? So, I just feel like, and somebody said earlier, I never even thought about this. that ballroom culture is a part of the Illuminati and the selling of souls. And you really have to think about this. Now, I don't know too much about the Illuminati and the selling of souls, but I definitely believe that ballroom, by it being so mainstream, it has been infiltrated by, how do I want to put this? It has been infiltrated by somebody in Uncle Tom's Cabin. Somebody in Uncle Tom's Cabin is pulling some strings in ballroom, because there's no way ballroom is getting this much exposure and being promoted in the way it is, and it has not been infiltrated by people who are trying to make sure that they can continue to control the consciousness and how we evolve as people. See, this is going to flow over a lot of y'all head because you don't really take the time to think. You just do. You worried about being beat and having on your cute dress and having on your cute hair and your labels and your designs and people seeing you. You ain't worried about being heard because you don't have nothing to say because you're a parakeet and you're repeating what everybody else saying. But you have not taken the time to thought for yourself, to think for yourself, to figure some things out for yourself. Ballroom cannot be where it is today without being infiltrated. That's why a lot of people like to keep things underground. That's why a lot of people like to keep things small. Because when it starts to get big, then you have Satan, you know, and Satan is not like in the Bible, but this being who's coming to tempt you. This being who's coming to tempt you, and so that the integrity of the organization can be compromised. See what your price is. And you don't think that people who desperate to be wealthy and to have resources and to be at the top of the food chain, you don't think they accepted those gifts? You don't think they took that? You don't think they took that and didn't care how it was going to affect future generations? You don't think they said, oh, wait a minute, you about to give me all these coins? People who don't have no soul, people who didn't have no soul anyway. Because you have to understand that we come from a culture, in our culture and queer culture, being gay, being black people, like if you just go back and watch TV shows that aired in the 80s and aired in the 90s, even in the 60s and the 70s, watch Good Times. Watch how black people talk to each other on Good Times. We talk to each other very harshly. Watch What's Happening Now. Watch Nell Carter and Give Me a Break. Like, we talk very rough to each other. It's on TV. It's documented how black people talk to each other. We talk down to each other. And so that was inside the home. Families talk down to each other. We didn't know how to speak to each other lovingly. And that was the oppressor training us to be at odds with each other. So we don't know how to speak to each other lovingly because it's not promoted. And the only way we know how to speak to each other with loving kindness is if we're referencing Father God, King Jesus. And I don't care how many times y'all say Jesus is black, you know the image of that white man is etched in your mind. I don't give a damn. Go and talk to children right now and ask them what color Jesus is. Go and talk to these children y'all got in these Catholic schools and ask them to tell you what color Jesus is. And I guarantee you they're going to tell you Jesus white. So I don't give a damn how many stories you tell about Yahshua. I don't care how many times you talk about Jesus is black, people still think he white. So the only time we know how to talk to each other lovingly is when we bring in a white man into the conversation. My God is God today. The only time we know how to speak life to each other is when we're introducing a white man into the conversation. And when I say white, I'm talking about the construct of whiteness. I'm talking about, because there are black people who channel whiteness. I'm not talking about Caucasians. I'm talking about the construct of whiteness. Okay? And a lot of us don't know how to speak. So imagine if the heterosexual people, if the cis people, if the breeders did not know how to speak to each other in a positive, loving way, what do you think gay people got? What do you think trans people got? We was getting the crumbs that fell off their table. We were getting the crumbs that fell off the heterosexual people table. So our language was even more vulgar, even more toxic. Like somebody said in my comment section one time, our family was trying to destroy the body. Our community was trying to destroy our spirit. Our family was harming us physically. They were beating us. They were letting us go to jail and get messed over. Our family was physically beating us. The church was casting spells on us. Then we went into the gay community and they were tearing our spirit down. Oh, you need to fix this. You need to change that. What that you got on? Oh, no. Preparing us for Massa. Making us worthy to be in Massa's presence. Suitable for Massa's sights. Oh, no, Massa will not approve of that. What label is that? What's going on with your hair and your shoes, baby? No. Massa will not approve of this, girl. You cannot sit with me, girl. Massa will not live for you like this, girl. We did that to each other for Massa. And the reason why we did it is because we were angry at our mothers and fathers for rejecting us. So we wanted the acceptance of this system. We wanted the acceptance of the oppressor, of the colonizer, because our family rejected us. So we figured if we could get into government, if we could get in cahoots with Massa, then somehow we could get our revenge on our parents. But our parents was just as much puppets as many of us are now. How can you be mad at your mama and daddy for being a puppet when many of you are puppets now? Many of you are tap dancing just as hard as your mama and your grandma was. You tapping just as hard as your grandmother and your grandfather. You tapping overtime, Mo. Mo, you tapping. You tapping. So how can you be mad at your grandma when you ain't no different? You ain't doing nothing no different. You tapping too. That's why I forgive my parents. Me and my mama beefing with each other right now. Y'all ain't seen me get on live and drag with her. Me and my mama had a knockdown drag out argument the last time I was in New Orleans. But I'm not finna get on this live and talk about her because I know that my mama is a product of this environment. I know that my mama is just as much a victim as I am. They used her for their agenda then. They needed the breeders to bring us here. They needed the breeders to bring us here so they could manipulate us. We came through them. So they used their agenda. They brainwashed them. And then we got here and we ain't doing nothing no different. Y'all think y'all doing something different, but y'all not. Y'all tap dancing just as hard. You tap dancing just as hard. So the moral of this story in this whole video is that we have to start digging deeper. If you want to come for me, you got to come harder than surface. Because I'm not going to be phased. I'm not going to even respond to you. I'm going to block you. I'm going to block you. If you come in my comment section and say something about my teeth, say something about me looking masculine, say something about my deep voice, I'm going to block you because I see where your intelligence is. I see where your IQ is. And sweetheart, when I was 15 years old, my IQ was 128. Now you go and Google IQs. It ain't Albert Einstein, but it ain't 71 either. When they checked my IQ in the mental hospital, honey, and it was in the 120s, boo. So y'all can say whatever you want to say about me. I'm not no dummy. And that was an IQ test for white people. That was an IQ test that wasn't even based on my culture. So you can say what you want to say about me. The reason why you don't understand me is because I'm whole. I'm working with all the parts. Even though I got rid of this down here, wash face girl doing wash face things. No need for pussy stunts because there's nothing dangling in between, boo. I'm still whole in my mind. I still acknowledge my mother and my father in my mind. I still acknowledge my grandmother and my grandfather in my mind. So when you want to come for me, you're going to have to work at that, baby. You can't come for me and read me if you're not invested in me because you're just wasting your breath. You're just wasting your breath. I don't believe in Christianity. Big facts. White LGBT people aren't dealing with that POC LGBT people do. Right. You know, and that's why I don't understand why black people always be ready to ride when always be ready to ride. Like it's like the black LGBT get upset and get mad when the white LGBT community get upset. But y'all don't be upset no other time. Like it's like the white LGBT community got to get mad first. Then when the white LGBT community get mad, they go to our gatekeepers, the ones who they giving them fat checks to. I ain't gonna say no names. I ain't gonna be messy like that on this live, but y'all already know who they is. It's the ones who are always in front of the camera. It's the ones you always see speaking at events, getting $20,000 and $20,000 to speak. The ones you always see. They go to their gatekeepers and they say, "Hey, you better go tell them niggas to get mad. Because we mad. We upset. Y'all better be upset too. Not go do what I said." And here they go. You ain't never noticed that? We don't get like when stuff happen. The white LGBT community got to be in an uproar. See, when the white LGBT community, when them rich white LGBT people get up in an uproar, that's when the black children out there, yes, da-da-da-da. Now look, when this thing happened with Darius McCrary, and you know I don't agree with everything Tasha K said, but Tasha K was telling the truth. When Darius McCrary, the one who played Eddie Winslow, when he embarrassed Sydney Starr like that and wore Sydney Starr out, the black community didn't say nothing. Because low-key, everybody feel like Sydney Starr deserved it because a lot of us feel like Sydney talked too much and she clout chasing. But at the end of the day, we know that he was really messing with that girl because we saw the pictures. We know this girl is not lying. We know this girl is not crying wolf. But were we upset? But let some white organizations, some white LGBT people would have been offended. Oh, baby, it would have been off with his head. The girls would have cut up. But we didn't get our cue. The community didn't get its cue. We didn't receive that cue. We didn't get the signal. But you furious over some stuff that Dave Chappelle done said. And Dave Chappelle didn't even really talk about anything really specific. And Dave Chappelle, more than anything, comes for girls who are post-op. So why all of these pre-op girls be so in an uproar? Y'all don't even give post-op girls no life. Like if anybody should be offended over what Dave Chappelle's saying, it should be me. It should be post-op girls. Because them the girls he really like when he be getting his little reads off, girl, them the girls he mainly come for. He don't really come for girls with penises. So why y'all so upset? Y'all upset because Massa told y'all to be upset. But I feel like anything that creates an opportunity for me to have a conversation, anything that creates an opportunity for us to go deeper into the dialogue and for us to talk, no matter how tense it is, no matter how it comes out, it's not what is said that counts. It's how we respond to what's being said to us. We have to stop being so reactionary, and we have to be able to hear things and understand where the person who is saying it is coming from. We have to understand what level they're on. We have to be able to dissect all of that before we respond. Okay, so this person is speaking from this place. This is where this person is coming from. This is this person's background. So I can't expect for them to speak about this with the delicacy that a person who had a background in this will speak on. And we living in a time where a lot of people speaking on stuff and they don't really know about it. Like when people speak about people who do drugs. I'm gonna give Tasha K for an example. She talked about psychedelics. You know, she talked about Will Smith, how much she hate Will Smith family, and you know how much she hate them. And she talked about psychedelics. And Tasha K be saying some stuff that be funny. I ain't gonna lie, I be dying laughing. But she talked about psychedelics, and it's like, girl, how do you know about a bad trip if you ain't ever had one? Girl, are you telling us something? Have you done mushrooms? Have you gotten high? Because I've done mushrooms and I've never had a bad trip. Because there's a such thing as microdosing. Anything that you abuse, there's going to be consequences. You could drink too much water and drown yourself. You could drown in water, and that's one of the most natural things on the planet. So too much of anything is not good for you. But we're in a society where a lot of people are talking a lot about things that they know nothing about simply because they're clout chasing. They want attention. They want to be seen. They want to be heard. And so, you know, you get on here, and when you don't really know about something, you could sound real ignorant. And normally ignorance is funny. I'm gonna lie. When people sound ignorant, that must be funny. So you want to hear somebody don't really know what they're talking about, talk about a topic, because it's entertaining. But at the same time, it can be harmful and it can be damaging, and we have to acknowledge that. So I think I've said enough. I think I've, said everything that I wanted to say. So in the future, any of y'all who want to come for me over what I said about the ballroom, any of y'all who feel in some type of way, understand that if you come for me, if you read me, go down the checklist. Have you ever invested in me? Have you ever bought some of my art? Have you ever shared my stuff, my work? Have you ever celebrated me? Have you ever did any of those things? And if you have not, then your read is worthless because you have not invested in me. And I probably don't even know you. So you just a troll under the bridge. You're just a troll under the bridge. And I'm going to banish you. I'm going to exile you into another realm because we can't feed you here. Like when I kill a roach, I'm thoughtful of every living thing. When I kill a fly, when I kill a bug, when I kill a gnat, when I'm eating, I acknowledge what I'm eating. If I'm eating some meat, I acknowledge it. If I kill a roach or a bug, I pray for it when I'm killing it. And when I banish you, I'm going to bless you. I'm going to say, we can't feed you here. Be well on your journey. Amen, a woman. Ooh. So I light this candle to acknowledge the ancestors of past, present, and future. The real Trinity, past, present, future. Our ancestors who were here, our ancestors who are here now, and our ancestors who are coming. Amen, a woman, lelem leler. Down banananda seku, it keeps spinning and turning. Iangani, Iyanko Kalukalo, which means I am a child of God Goddess. And if I am, you know you are. Special shout out to my sister who gave me these suits. I got like 3 of them, so y'all will probably see the rest of them later. I need to slim down a little bit. It's a size 16. I didn't know it was gonna be that tight. Girl, I squeezed up in this girl. Ooh, girl, she barely in there, girl, honey. Ooh, girl, she's like, girl, all tight, all up in here, girl. I love y'all. Thank you for joining me.